Hello everyone, I'm Shweta and today we have Bala here for Conversation with Chrysalis. This is a series where we talk to Chrysalians who have been for quite some time and pick apart their brain and figure out how they have contributed to the company. So Bala, would you like to introduce yourself for the audience?
Hi, I'm Balu, and I've been telling marketing team, why do you pick all these old bandicoots? Pick some, new entrants and ask them what life is like and stuff. That'll be more fun as well.
So you're new as well for us.
Yeah, sure.
We've always got like a fresh perspective from you, so.
Cool. Okay. Okay. So let's see what's fresh today.
So without further ado, I'd like to dive into the questions. So Bala, what are some of your proudest achievements in Chrysalis?
Proudest achievements?
Yes, something that you're really proud of.
I'll shed my modesty for once and I'll say that at this point of time in our team, I think I am redundant. I'm not needed anymore. And the credit goes almost entirely to the team. 99%, I'll take 1% credit. But it's a fantastic team and they have risen up so much and so well that I pretty much don't need to do anything. Yeah. So I would think that's my greatest achievement. Yeah.
So you can blindly trust your team and you know that even without your presence, they are going to go ahead and.
Yeah, not blindly. I have faith in their capabilities, and also I think in the last few years, what we've managed to do is put together processes which makes it relatively easy for anyone to pick up the threads. For example, we have extensive documentation. Even with that, a new entrant will have to spend a lot of time reading, but we have documentation in place. And that's just one example, right? So in that sense, I think it's about capabilities and processes coming together that's done this.
So you have been here for quite some time. Have you had any role models or mentors, and how have they shaped your career?
Interesting. I think I am unable to think of one role model really. But I'd say I've learned things from multiple people. Chitra, obviously, one of the things that I think I really admire about her is how she's able to rally around people and resources around a cause, right? And if I look at myself, I would consider myself an average bloke, right? But I think she's done exceedingly well. And that resourcefulness is something that I feel Chitra has inspired me with. Ganesh is someone who's never shy of coming up with ideas. He'll always say, let me flip it, right? And sometimes we're like, no, please don't flip anything. And so there are quite a few such people who have, I feel, my own parents. Whatever they've taken up, they've done it with utmost sincerity. I've never seen them given half attempt, right, at anything. If at work and outside of it, once they retired and now they have a routine, they do their morning walks, they do their Bhagavad Gita in the evening. And those are non-negotiable. They will simply do it every single day and they're so disciplined and sincere about it. And that is also a trait that I hope I've managed to somewhat pick up. So there's been a whole lot of role models. That way I'm blessed, I think.
That's fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the company culture and how it has evolved over the years.
The warmth, the camaraderie, the ability to reach one another, even if it's Chitra, for example, these things haven't changed, in my opinion. And as I see it in all these years, there has been definitely an attempt to be more professional. For instance, I still remember I used to call Chitra ma'am in the initial few years, and there was a point in time when they brought this rule we brought this rule saying that, no more sirs and ma'ams, and we'll, do first name basis. And for almost a year, I was fighting with Chitra about it. I said, no, who are you to tell me how I should call you, right? As long as I don't call you bad names, you shouldn't be complaining. So it took me a long while. But the point is, we try to codify some things, the Chrysalian values, for example. There is an attempt to be more inclusive. For example, the way we our holidays, for example, have become more inclusive. Our hiring policy has always been, very inclusive. For example, our team consistently has had, women. So in that sense, values, we try to define them and we try to propagate them and keep them alive. So in that sense, I think there is, as we grow, an attempt to be more professional and in some way ensure that this sustains. So there is an attempt to be more formal about it and codified, if that's the right word. But the basics don't change. Yeah.
Okay. So we'd like to ask you a personal question.
Sure, yeah.
What is that one thing that is there in your bucket list that you'd love to accomplish?
Oh, there's so many things. There is many things.
So I'm guessing we'll need a separate video just for that.
I've taken a liking for the mountains.
Okay.
And I hope to do at least one 8,000 meter peak sometime. The tallest I've been to is around 5,500 meters. By climbing, right, by foot. So that's definitely, if I had to pick just one thing, it would be that. And then there's a lot, so I'll not get into it. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm done with the questions, but I do have a rapid fire round for you.
Sure.
So I'll tell maybe like a few words or an adjective. You have to name that one person who comes to your mind.
Sure. Okay.
So the first word is leadership.
Chitra.
Okay. The second word is work-life balance.
Me?
Of course. The third word is, let me think, motivation.
Motivation. Every single Chrysalian, everyone is so motivated. Yeah.
Problem solving.
Vishy.
Ji.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'm done with the rapid fire.
Okay.
So if there's anything that you'd like to tell all the Chrysalians.
I think this is a place that offers two things in my mind. One is a lot to learn. And so if you're someone who's just joining early in your career, it's entirely up to you to there are opportunities. There may not be classes. You may not be required to log into an LMS and go through a number of courses. Not yet, at least. I don't know if that will also happen sooner than later. But there's huge amount of opportunities to learn, and it's up to anyone to grab it. And second, I think, is also that people who do well are nurtured. I still remember, and I think that would be like a very proud moment for me, since you asked me for my achievements. At the end of my first year, when I had completed my first year, Chitra called me and she said, you've done very well, and I'm going to, give you a raise and a promotion, and you also have, 3 people reporting to you, and blah, 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 all of this in my first 1 year, right? I told Chitra, can you just put this on a letter and give it to me? She said, what for? I said, I'm going to show it to my dad, right? Because my dad has always been, we have this thing as a youngster, boys and dads. I think it happens with everybody. My dad has been critical, right? Like, you can do a lot more. You're not working hard enough. You can achieve your potential. Blah blah blah. So I very proudly went and showed that letter to my dad, and I think I still have it somewhere. I should be able to find it. But the point is that I think people are nurtured, and there are so many people that you can think about in the company who've grown in very different ways. When I say grow, it's not just like, grow up the ladder like a manager, boss kind of a thing, but people have found their niche. you would find someone coming in as a sales guy and later doing something totally differently, right? And doing it very well and flourishing there. So I think opportunities to learn and opportunities to really flourish exist, provided you are, willing to grab them. I think that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so before we end the video, we have a question from Chitra herself.
That will be interesting. Okay, what's that?
So she told me that initially when you joined, you said you'll be here for a short tenure.
Yeah.
I think maybe a few 6 months.
Yeah,
so what was the turning point exactly? Like, obviously you stayed for quite some time. So what made you stay here?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know if I told her 6 months. So I met Ganesh for the interview and Chitra. To this day, that trend continues. Ganesh did an interview for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. He still does that. And Chitra does like a 5-minute interview. Okay, and I asked her for, I think she had given me some X rupees, and I asked her for 1,000 rupee raise. So this was 17, 18 years back, right? She said, no, take this, take it or leave it kind of thing. And I took it, right? But I don't think there was one turning point. I think a lot of people talk about vision and, the child and stuff like that. I think that's part of it, no doubt. The fact that we're doing meaningful work here. But I think what's primarily kept me going is the people. I think this place is just filled with very, very good people. Just well-meaning, good people, right? I realized that very quickly with Chitra and Ganesh, whom were the earliest people I used to. Chitra was the earliest person. She was my first boss, and probably the only boss throughout. I just realized that here's a person who's trying to do meaningful work and create a workplace that will offer meaningful work and good remuneration to people. I think to this day that forms a core of her vision. Yeah. That I want to create a great workplace and I want young people to come here and be rewarded amply as well. So her idea of growth comes from that drive as well, right? Yeah. Apart from the child. And to this day, right, the newest person who's joined, like I talked to the newest person in LT who joined like a month back, and all I'm able to feel is like a huge positive goodness around them. And I think to me, that is what kept me going. Just because it was selfish, I'm able to be with good people if I'm working here. And so
it's as simple as you found your people.
I have people, I tell myself the whole world is my family, right? But if in a workplace, to have a workplace where you have, well-meaning people, I think makes a huge difference, because you're working a lot of time in your life, right? 70% of your time you're working. Yeah. So I think that's what kept me going all these years. There wasn't one single turning point, but it's just the fact that there's so many good people and I'm doing what I can to, contribute.
All right. So that was a lovely interview. I had such a great time talking to you.
Likewise, Shweta. Likewise. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.